Hello everybody, and welcome to Dark Souls Skull of the First Sin. This is my new video series called Lost Weapons of Dark Souls 2. In this video series, I'm going to be showing off weapons that you don't see very often in PvP settings. The first weapon of the series will be on the Red Rust Sword. This is a sword you can buy from the head of Vengarl for I think around 5,000 souls. It is an interesting weapon that I have to say I saw it like maybe once, once in like the last month. It is. Whoops, not what I want to do. Oh well. It is a straight sword, but it actually has the moveset of the battle axe, which makes it a little bit interesting. And people look at this thing as a sword, so they expect a straight sword moveset, but you come out with a battle axe moveset, and they've never seen the weapon before. It can really catch them off guard. Um, the stats of the weapon: it has 205 base damage when maxed out, and an S scaling in strength, and that is actually a pretty significant S scaling. With my 70 strength, it can get up to a total base damage of 435, and that's a plus 230 on scaling with the Ring of Blades plus 2, of course. Um, so actually, the damage is pretty solid. However, I'll show you really quick. Where is it? The battle axe, unfortunately, is a little stronger, just slightly, and this is kind of unfortunate that this weapon doesn't it doesn't really capitalize as much on its S scaling as you wish it would. And that's probably just because of its really pitifully low base damage. That is horribly low. But hey, in Dark Souls 2, it doesn't really matter how much you level up. So maybe when you hit 99 strength, it'll actually be better than all the axes. I have yet to actually test that. Anyways, other stats of weapon are 100 counter strength, and there's gonna be a clip later where I show how much that can really hurt you in PvP. And 30 poise break, which is this is the same for any axe, so that's fair. The weight is also 8 units, so it actually makes it heavier than most axes, and all straight swords. So that's actually, and that's kind of a trait with Vengarl's weapons in general, but the weight is a little painful. Anyway, we'll be going right over to the PvP footage, and you can see how this thing does. Okay, now getting into the PvP footage of this weapon. If you're used to using axes, still, as this thing has the axe moveset, you're gonna feel right at home using the Red Rust Sword. That's a little funky parry there. I didn't even expect it. Um, Parries were not with me throughout this entire time using this weapon for the most part, so you're gonna see me miss a lot of those. But anyway, um, nice thing is the weapon does still have a fairly high base damage, as I showed off earlier. And the nice thing about the axe moveset in general is its ability to catch people in roll. It is phenomenal at catching people in a roll. And just get a quick jump attack for a kill there. Um, the what, and especially you'll see. I think maybe it's in this video. Oh, I know, I don't think it is, but maybe not. You'll see. You'll know when I'll remember when I see it. Um, the weapons R2s are especially the one-handed R2, especially effective at catching a roll because it has a rather deceptively long reach. Um, and by the way, I did check. The Red Rust Sword is the exact same length as a battle axe, as far as I could tell. So that is also a little unfortunate. However, that being said, still works fine. Um, the nice thing about the weapon too, it still has a phenomenal axe running attacks, which are excellent for chase down. And I'm sure you've seen plenty of reactive players using those to great extent against you. This video here is where I show off the ability of the R2 to catch a run. I get quick 2 hit and then combo here, and then combo him for 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. This weapon is phenomenal at chaining hits. Absolutely phenomenal. It's even better if you use a stone ring, of course. And it can really scare people when you just like take off a huge chunk of health like that when they have no way of escaping. In this fight here, you'll see me up against a typical straight sword user, which gets a little, of course, it's everyone's favorite thing to do. But it's also because, especially if you play locked on, and you see not very many people doing this anymore. And I was almost gonna say that playing lockdown well is kind of a lost art, almost in a sense, because most players who do well are playing unlocked and spinning around, you know, the usual thing. But this weapon is actually deceptively good when locked on because it spins you around. The tracking on it is phenomenal. Um, you will catch people trying to backstab fish against you all the time with your R1, especially the one-handed R1. That downward diagonal slash has a deceptively long reach around you. Um, you'll see here. I think I trade here once too, and it doesn't work out greatest for me. Especially, well, of course, against katanas in general, you don't want to trade with almost anything ever. But this weapon's 100 counter strength really sucks. It will catch you more than you would like, where you just get you get a fair hit and you just get like ripped in half because the 100 counter strength is just terrible, especially since all the other axes have at least 120. It really sucks. But aside from that, the weapon really doesn't have anything in the way of cons per se, aside from the weight. But like I said, that hurts a little bit, especially if you're trying to use a Flynn's. But it's still only 8. Like that's not that bad. Like there's other things that are a lot worse. um, One problem I will have to say, I didn't really show this off in the video because it happened more in my recording sessions, practice sessions beforehand. But this because people use the axis so often. And here you see again me failing at trading because we don't want to trade with the spear either. But it's just not. Do not try whatever you do. Try not to trade. It will hurt you more than anything else. But this weapon is also very easy to parry, especially the running attacks, because people use them so often. People have gotten really used to it, unless you're me, and they will parry you quite easily. Once again, this is a video showing off how bad the trading is on this weapon. That was really majority of the fights that weren't just like against like super glass cannon builds or just got like 2-shot and nothing I could do. The majority of fights I lost were because of because of the trades. I actually, because axe weapons are generally pretty easy to use. You will generally do okay as long as you're not trading all the time. Otherwise, the R2s of the weapon are excellent for extending your combos as well. I didn't really show it off here, but also equipping a fast weapon like the Bone Fist and the Offhand, you can like pull off total wombo combos on people, and it's rather hilarious. It's because of the speed of the weapon and the poise break of the weapon, and if you equip the Stone Ring, it'll be even better. You're gonna struggle a little bit against fast weapons as well, like the daggers here. He's just like pushing me around. Thankfully, he was using really terrible, like parrying daggers. So I mean, he's not like doing much to me, but still, you'll find yourself having trouble against people who use things like straight swords, curved swords especially. Because that's everyone's favorite thing to do is use a warp sword now. Like I said, the R2's there, excellent for catching people that roll into you, absolutely phenomenal. Especially if you can delay them, and if you can actually chain the two-handed R2 hits together, it will just mess people up. They combo so well. The two-handed R2 I believe is a guaranteed combo. Here I got really frustrated with missing all the parries. Oh wait, wrong video. Never mind. Almost this video. I think it's against the same guy too. Or maybe I didn't put it in. I can't remember. We'll find out. But as you see here, it's your rushdown ability with this weapon is great. It has great bait ability too with its follow-up R2s, as most weapons do. Here it is. And yeah, actually, I highly recommend trying to bait people as well. I mean, it can be kind of a double-edged sword as well there too, because when you're baiting, you're gonna end up trading really often. Oh, and that's another thing I forgot to mention. Now that I saw this. The ripostes on this weapon are extremely strong. They used to be even stronger, in fact, apparently, when the weapon used to do thrust damage on its ripostes, and be a top tier riposte weapon. It's still excellent because it has high base damage and it's still higher than most greatswords, so it's going to do a fair amount of damage on a riposte. But this is an NG against NG opponents, I believe. So 1,000 damage in new game, that is phenomenal. There aren't many weapons that can do that. So this weapon is gonna do a lot of work for you in your riposte department. I wouldn't say you would replace your greatsword, your pocket greatsword, but it's still an excellent weapon for a riposte. It's also excellent against mages because of its rush down ability. Otherwise, it's kind of just your basic axe, which I can understand. Like I said, I can understand why this weapon's kind of been forgotten about. It has just the counter strength and the lower damage than any other axe. I mean, especially in Dark Souls 2, where damage is king for the most part, because the movesets are so similar in most weapons. Shaking my head at that. That was so stupid. But so I can kind of understand why this thing has become kind of forgotten about. It's because there's no real reason to use it. Anyway, it's kind of a straightforward. There's not really very many hints or tricks to use for this weapon. My next video on the Lost Weapons of Dark Souls 2 is probably going to be on the Old Knight Pike. And if you guys think of anything else as well, like please suggest them to me. I can only do so many of them off the top of my head, though I do have a lot of ideas. So if you think there are weapons in this game that don't get enough love, please write them in the comments section, and I'll get to them if I can. Or unless you like, don't mention the comments, please. I don't know, everyone's gonna do that now. However, so yes, any other weapons that you think people need to pay more attention to for whatever reason, please write in the comment section. Also, don't do the ladle. Everyone knows about the ladle. Just no one wants it. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll try. We'll see the next one. It's gonna be on the Old Knight Pike, and then we'll see after that. Anyway, this is the ending of the last fight here, and I think this was pretty awesome too. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you next time.